Hi, thanks for checking in sa Stan Vlogs. Again, this is Stan and welcome to my channel. Wala tayo ganong gala ngayon, pero today what I'll feature is, anyway, as you may have known, I am a vaper. Um, Pakita ko sa inyo kung paano ako magpalit ng wick sa vape ko. Kasi at the moment, sunog na, tostado na yung lasa niya. Hindi ko na siya ma-appreciate. So, pakita ko sa inyo yung pinakasimpleng way namin kung paano kami mag-wick ng vape namin. Para tuloy-tuloy tayo sa vape. Iwas-yosi. More vape. Tara, samahan niyo ako. Okay, so now andito tayo sa kwarto ko. Here's what I'm using. This is a variable mod. So I'm using an RDTA. This is Madhatter, yun yung brand name niya. I've been using this since 2017, so 2022 na tayo. This has been in service for the last 5 years for me. Unfortunately, yung mod ko, what I was using was a Therion 166 at that time. Kaso bumigay na talaga siya after 5 years. So I bought myself temporarily ito. This is Asmodius Minikin, if I'm not mistaken. Ito yung box niya. Asmodius Minikin Reborn. This is so cheap. I like the price. It's also a variable mod, so ito yung display niya. It comes 5 watts, as high as 165 if I remember correctly. Pero anyway, me personally, I'm only selling this up for 70 watts. Satisfied na ako sa buga nito. Pakita ko sa inyo, napaka-gunky na niya. Actually, I change the wick every single day. May kalakasan ako mag-vape kasi I used to smoke 1 pack per day, and it's a Marlboro something or whatever, Marlboro lights. I'm switching to vape. Hopefully, well, it's working since right now I'm trimming it down to just a stick or 2 at most per day. But mostly I rely on my vape. That's why ang lakas ko magpalit, ang lakas ko mag-wick, and I've always been trying to find ways on how I can be more cost-effective, budget-wise. Kasi araw-araw di biro guys. I'm using Muji cottons. Ayun yung mga pre-cut na mga square na cottons. You just cut it into strips and then you feed this into the atomizer. Kasi lately I find it expensive. Naubusan din ako ng stock. Dati may bili ako ng at least 20 pads at a time. Bilis maubos. So I switched. So hopefully guys, mabigyan ko kayo ng simple things, especially pakita ko sa inyo. I switched, instead of a Muji cotton, I'm using something else differently right now, which is very cheap. It's a good alternative to the cotton I use conventionally for my atomizer. Check this out. So ito na nga, simulan natin sa ibabaw. Meron siyang cap, that's why it's a Madhatter. Cute kasi it just flips up and down. Although tinanggal ko muna yung may nag-hold dito na parang small screw para maging ano siya, mag-flip lang siya, ganyan lang siya. So dyan lalagay yung juice and it goes in, out, and then it shuts itself like this. Still tight naman siya kasi may goma sa loob. Now we're gonna take this off. I mean, 1 day usage, imagine guys, tingnan ko kung mazoom pero it's so gunky right now. So guys, have a look. Tumpat yung juice ko. Ayan, ito siya. This is just a day's worth of vaping. Once I clean this later, matanggal lahat ng gunk niya. Kita nyo, hindi na nga ma-recognize na ito are just coils on both ends dito. Pero dahil sobrang dumi niya, sunog na masakit na sa baga pag humihipak ka. So this needs to be changed, and this is one of my daily rituals. Yeah, changing the wick on this vape. And I'll get this started now. Ayun, since the wick is still wet at the moment, I just need to dry it up first. It makes the pulling process easier kung dry na yung bulak kasi right now it's really wet. So I have to dry out the juice. And in a way, hindi ganong nahihirapan yung coil. Kasi when you pull the wick out, yung toasted parts, minsan nawawala sa alignment yung coil, and you don't want that. You have to be careful about your coil as well. Kaya na it's really wet. Now it's starting to go white. Nag-dry up na siya. Not done yet. I need to really dry this out. Alright, this looks better. Ang puti-puti na niya. Ano siya? By this time, I start to... kita nyo guys, natanggal agad. Kasi nga, surog na yung gitna. So, it's very easy for me to pick apart the used wick right now. Kita nyo isang side natanggal agad. Same thing I no longer need to pull back and forth para matanggal siya unti-unti. Right now, dahil sunog na yung gitna, it just falls off. See? And see, so freaking dirty. So all that's left is the coil, which is so brackish right now. I'm gonna clean this up. Watch. There's a very simple way on how we can clean the coil. Hindi siya komplikadong proseso. It's good to know how quickly you can clean the coil using this process. Guys, tignan nyo naman. Hindi mo na ma-recognize na coil talaga siya because ang dumi-dumi niya. Now, how I clean this coil, I just have this. Ito yung mga pinagtirahan ng mga bulak. This is a cup full of water. All you gotta do is just burn it up. Yan. Until it's so lit, and then you dunk it in. And see? It comes off. Now, I'm not done with it yet. I'm gonna have to repeat that several times. So, ito yung pinakasimpleng way to clean the coil. It's starting to come back to life. Marami pa mga remnants, mga tira-tira pa ng mga past gunk from the old cotton, but it's starting to fall off. See the difference? Ayan na lahat ng gunk niya. And that's what makes the taste bad. Masakit sa baga. Para kang anong tawag dun? Para kang nang humihipak ng tear gas Sakit sa baga. And so I'm just about done. There. Is that all? How does it look? Looks better, right? Kumpara kanina. Now, this is already set. I'm gonna put this aside. I'm gonna prepare some cotton right now. Alright. See how easy that was. Malinis na yung ating coil. Hindi na siya mainit. Ilang beses na ako nadadali nito minsan Nasusunog ako Ganda Nag-prepare na ako ng mga bulak for us to use. Nito. Ni-roll up ko na siya. Now, I mentioned earlier I used to use Muji cottons. I switched to something cheaper. Guys, Muji cottons, they cost 5 pesos per pad. It's like a square pad. Square pad lang siya. As big as this. And then you get to cut this. It's really expensive kasi 5 pesos per pad. Pad can take me, what, 2 to 3 days of usage? Oh, dati. So, imagine yung usage ko. In 3 days, I use 1 pad. So, in a month, I'll be using 10 pads. That's 50 pesos already. Just for the pads alone. Now, what I've been using lately is this. Well, in any cotton naman in general, pero preferably kasi although mahirap hanapin yung mga organic types. This is what I use now. And hindi siya kasing pulido ng Muji cotton, but for me, as long as it's thick enough to fit in here later, as long as it's thick enough, this is good enough for me. There might be some initial aftertaste kasi nga, puti na tong cotton na to yung mga organic cottons, they're usually darker and less chemicals yung ginagamit to process those types of cotton. Pero ito is, the whiter it is, the more processing it took to produce this kind of cotton. Kaya anyway, this would have to do because this is, imagine, 6 pesos. This lasts me what, almost a month, versus 50 pesos for the Muji. I mean, nagtitipid na ako nun guys Yung one pad, I'll use it for 2 to 3 days. Nagtitipid na ako nun. Sobra. Kasi nga, I change the wick daily. Alright, so everything is set up now. I'll put this back later. Focusing here now on the cottons, which will go to this deck, which I think is what they call this. Is one of the older models na a velocity deck. I think there's several setups for the atomizers. This RDTA has been serving me for quite a while now. I really love this. It's hard to get another atomizer like this these days because it's already been phased out. I don't know what the newer versions are, pero mahirap na makakuha ng Madhatter. Ito, ang cute kaya niya. See? Madhatter. I'm not advertising this, but this is what I've been using. Okay, not for promotional gains whatsoever, but this has been my atomizer of choice since then. Alright, now let's go back. Let's do the wicking. Guys, I'm back. So, kakalinis lang natin ang ating coil. This is good as new. It's ready to be fed a pair of cottons. And let's get this done, and then let's go back vaping right after. Okay, so what I do with my cotton is just I try to compress this. Try to make this as tight as possible. And I'll do the same with this later. So I try to make it pointy, compressed as compressed as it possibly can, because we need to put it in here. All right, it goes through here. So you just put it in, make sure that you twist, kasi gusto nating ma-maintain yung yung coil, of course. Hindi siya ma-disforma. You don't want that kasi nagbabago yung resistances It's a different topic entirely. Me myself, I'm not good with Ohm's law, resistances and things, and that plays a factor pag when you coil. Maybe I can do a separate vlog for that, pero mahirap magalaw yung coil. Kaya you really have to be careful putting the wick in. Hindi mo siya pupwersahin, hindi mo siya hihila-hilain kasi ang pangit pag hindi na aligned yung coil mo. So I've already put one wick in. Goes the second now. You twist it para hindi mahirap hindi siya mahirap iporma. There. That's about it. Wick done. Simple, right? I'm loving the part yung paano yung paglilinis. I just picked that up from one of the, of course, veteran vapers that I've been watching for years back. So that's what I've been doing since, kasi others, they have other techniques na napaka cumbersome, napaka unconventional. For me, idadaan pa nila sa gripo. It is a method, it is one way, but I think it's simple enough when you just dunk it sa tubig, at a small portion of it. Now, what we have to do next is to cut off the extra parts. Now, we gotta make sure na the way you trim it is just enough, because I'm using RDTA. There's a tank under it. Alright, we gotta make sure that the cotton is just enough na tawag dito? Mag-iigop siya ng juice from inside. Kasi how this is being used is, once you puff it, you turn it upside down para yung juice bumalik sa cotton, put it back up, and then continue vaping. That's how this works. So I'm gonna try cutting this at least as minimal length as possible, kasi the more cotton you use, problem with that is the more it sucks up juice. Now remember, nagkat ako yung luma kong pinagbulakan, that eats juice. Okay, at the end it's more juice consuming. The more cotton you put in the tank, it's no longer, magastos na lang talaga, sobrang gastos na lang. So keeping the costs down. Of course, we want to make sure that yung juice na mapupunta sa bulak is what you can actually puff out later on. Hindi natin kailangan ng sobrang bulak for this. We don't. Try to keep it as minimal as possible. Alright, so sinisimulan ko na siya from edge to edge, and then I'm gonna fit them in the holes. There. This is how I would like my wick to be. Sakto lang yung length niya mamaya once I put it inside the holes. So I'll do the same on this other part. Tsaka maganda yung mura ang bulak, guys. So you have this liberty to play around. It doesn't really matter how long it gets when you put the wick in. You can just always cut it off. Hindi kayong, oh, sayang. Ako, Muji pa naman yung kailangan ko siyang ikat ng ganito kasi mahal ang Muji. Alam mo yun? From a budget perspective, manghihinayang ka pa rin eh. Mahal ang Muji eh. And there's other wicks out there, mga bacon, mga twisted, which is more expensive than Muji. Parang pang economy na yung Muji eh, pero I still find that expensive kasi nga daily tayo magpalit eh. There's some who changes twice, 3 times a day because they vape more than I do. Pero ako once a day. Some people rarely changes their cotton kasi hindi naman sila ganun kalakasan. Pero ako talagang part of my daily habit ko to. So ayan, nakat ko na yung mga bulak as little as I want them to be. So all that's left for this now is, I'll just stick them inside the holes, and we're gonna put in some juice through this channel. See that? Yun ang gusto ko sa kanya eh. It's spring-loaded. So the juice, this goes here, but this will be for later. Nawala yung takip niya. Wala na parang laman to. Anyway, I'll show you later. Alright, here comes one of the most tedious part, I guess, is to put the tips down to its respective holes. Kasi right now it looks like this, diba? Yung mga bulak niya is nakakalat pa. You gotta put it down inside the respective holes para yun na yung pinaka-fitting niya. That's where the juice will go. How the juice gets sucked up inside these cottons from inside. I mean, so just be gentle with the process, guys. Wala namang kailangan madaliin dito. Do it right. Wick stays stronger. Burn is minimized as long as the wick is always wet. So first part is ganito na itsura niya. Here's how I Here's how I want it to be. Itong side na to. At hindi siya ma-zoom. There. So itong side na to is how I want it to be. So yung entirety ng cotton is bumaba sa loob. May mga holes siya dito eh, which I don't think I had a chance to let you guys see earlier, but anyway, there are 4 holes, good for 4 ends of the cottons, and they all go down there. That's yun na. So 3 of 4 is done. I'm putting in the last one now. Ang simple lang naman magpasok ng bulak. This is perfect for me now. Ito na siya. So we got a freshly cleaned coil earlier. New wicks in place. All that's left now is for me to fill this in with the juice that I use, which, by the way, I love mango blend. Most of my juices, if it's not Yakult blend, but they are gunkier. I guess when you say gunky yung juice, ibig sabihin nun is yung masarap siya, pero the sweeter the juice becomes, or the sweeter the juice that you use, sila yung mga madudumi. So when you switch out the wick, it tends to be dirtier compared to yung mga mangga, mga fruit blend na tinatawag. So mangga, melon, pomelo, they are less gunky. So yung paglilinis ko rito, guys, trust me, pag Yakult ang gamit ko, boom, as in ang dumi talaga. It takes more frequency to dunk it in the water just to clean out the gunk. So compared to mangga, and masarap ang mangga, really is. Let's put some juice now. Okay, I'm just about to put this back in now, kaso wala pa ang juice. Here's what I've been using so far. This is Flamango by Demon Vape. It's one of the more popular brands out there. This thing costs 250 pesos. It's 65 ml, and this lasts to 5 days if I'm being generous about it. Pero kung tagtipid tayo, we try to stretch this for a week. This is a premium juice for me, 250. Wala akong ibang juice ngayon so far, guys, so this is what we will put inside. I guess arte ko lang to, pero before I put in the juice here sa tasa mismo ano niya, lagayan, binabasa ko muna yung gitna ng wick. Ang logic kasi nun, lalagyan mo siya ng juice sa gitna like this. You see it's slowly being filled up with juice now. There. It's now full. This is now full. So this looks white right now, but once I start flipping this over slowly, you don't just let it stay like this for long kasi tatapon yung juice. So just do this slowly until you will see the juice slowly getting absorbed by the wick. Binabasa ko muna yung gitna kasi for me, I think that's the hardest part na makatagos ng juice. I'm just simply helping the wick get wetter more or faster. Kaysa yung antayin ko pang umakit yung juice from the tank up to the wick. Basahin mo na lang yung wick para yung paligid na lang yung kailangang mabasa. Ayun, so it's no longer white. It's somehow has a shade of or yellow now. Some parts are still not. We're waiting for that to eventually get there. Yeah, and I'm almost done, guys. Wicking successful, and welcome. This is part of what I do in a day-to-day living. Alright, again, it's part of my goal to quit smoking eventually. But for now, this is the best that I can do. I can't really quit smoking just yet. Work demands as well that I have during work, but this really helps out. This cuts the curve. This does. Not completely. But again, a big disclaimer to you guys out there: if you're not even smoking, you don't even have that kind of habit, please don't try vape for fun. Okay, it's not intended that way. This is being used, although there's no approval from the FDA, any health bodies worldwide who approves in using vape. I find this a great alternative. Well, it's all a matter of choosing the lesser demon, right? So nobody's saying that there's no risks involved in vaping, but compared to the X number of chemicals that you inhale from the cigarette smoke, I mean, this is far less. And again, I'm not gonna say this is completely harmless, not in the slightest. So, guys, basang-basa na siya. Gosh, hindi siya mag-zoom in talaga, no? Pero earlier, it's just white. Ngayon, okay na siya. It's just yellow. And we're gonna put this small thing. This is the filter, or this is the airflow, which goes here first. There. That's for the airflow. That's how you regulate the amount of air you suck in as you vape. And second part is the cap, the Madhatter cap. So it goes here. This is wet. So, punasan mo muna, guys. It has become kasi there's been some extra juice spilling out, and it's part of the process. So I'm just gonna have to find the right fit for this, and we'll be back to vaping right after. Okay, it's now back. So we got the tank filled juice. That small hole on top is where the juice goes. This is one of the best things I like about the Madhatter RDTA. Anytime you run low, just put it in, and then here's the cap. I'll put here. There's a screw. I'm gonna put it back later, but that's about it. Back to vaping. Yeah, set it only to 70 watts. Resistance 40 ohms. Just like that. So Guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for all the subscribers I've been getting so far, and I hope we can get to see more of you guys soon. Alright, so tuloy-tuloy lang tayo. Thanks for watching Stana Vlogs. Stay safe always. Bye-bye.